Let's talk about the Enneagram test. I'm obsessed with this personality test, and it's very different to other ones that I've taken before. I first did it nearly a year ago when I saw everyone was talking about it on Instagram. There's all this hype around it. And whenever it pops up again or someone talks about it on Instagram, I'm like, oh my gosh, let's talk about this. Let's discuss it. Like, what's your type? What's my type? All of that sort of thing. Now, if you're watching this and you're about to tune out because you're like, this girl's crazy, what is she talking about? I encourage you to try it out for yourself and do the test first before you make any judgments. But for those of you who know what I'm talking about, listen in. So I took the test and I did it with the instinctual variant, and I got an Enneagram 3, so a number 3 with a wing 2. So a 3 is an achiever, someone who is super goal oriented, someone who likes to work, like loves to work, and who can't stop working, which I can totally relate to because I find it really hard to unwind. All of my 3s like give me some hands up, like comment some sort of emoji or comment and I hear you, because seriously, it's a struggle with the 3. So we love to work, can easily be workaholics, I guess, is the negative sort of side of that sort of thing. Goal-oriented, really focused on self-improvement and self-development, which I certainly am, and that makes a lot of sense to me. 3s are success-driven, they are ambitious, they are competent, and are competitive, and I resonate with all of those things. I was like, oh my gosh, that's totally me. And then I got a wing 2. So you can either get a wing, which means something that you are also like a little bit. So 3 is achiever and the 2 is the helper. So I'll tell you what that one is about. It's pretty self-explanatory, to be honest with you, but here it is, number 2. The helper, Enneagram, type 2, the caring interpersonal type, generous, demonstrative, people-pleasing, and possessive. So it says 2s are empathetic, sincere, and warm-hearted. They are friendly, generous, and self-sacrificing, but can also be sentimental, flattering, and people-pleasing. They're well-meaning and driven to be close to others, but can slip into doing things for others in order to be needed. So I thought that was a really interesting combination, and I read up on it a bit more because I definitely am a 3 with a bit of a 2, and I read up on that sort of combination a bit more. And for those of you who are 3s, wing 2s, you'll totally get this. So an Enneagram 3 wing 2 is called the charmer, and they want to be successful, but not necessarily in terms of outward things, but they want to be successful particularly in their relationships. So the 3 wing 2, the 2 is all about helping people, and the 3 wants to be successful but and achieve things, but also in the context of helping other people. And that's why 3s can often be, 3 wing 2s can be motivators, and people like, apparently I've read Tony Robbins, Oprah, etc., those sorts of people. So I thought that's really cool, that's really interesting. And I can definitely relate to that because of what I do, I guess, with She Is Light. It's all about helping young women live with purpose, and I am passionate about that. So I was like, that explains a lot to me. Now, the interesting thing about doing this test was honestly just going, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. Oh my gosh, I'm not crazy. Oh my gosh, there are other people like this out there. And then when I've shared about it on Instagram and said, hey, I'm a 3 wing 2 on the Enneagram, other people have gone, yes, me too. And I'm like, oh my gosh, sister, like soul sister, you hear me, like you get me. And then when other people have shared about it, I'm like, me too. I think so often we just want to know that we're not alone, that we're not crazy in the things that sort of make us the way we are, or in our personality traits. And that, you know, for me, for example, I love to work. I'm really driven. I'm really success oriented, all of that sort of stuff. But I guess when you spend time with other people who are not like that, you can think, am I the only one? Am I the only person who's like this? This is really hard, and things can feel hard when you can't find other people who are like you or who share similar sort of personality traits to you. But then when you find someone who is similar in those ways, you go, oh, I'm not alone and I'm not crazy. So I think that was something that was really helpful for me with doing this test, is going, I know that other people are like this, and that it's okay, I guess, to be me in this. But then also another thing is, of course, the whole self-development side of it, because there is so much information out there on the web. If you have looked at this stuff, like there is so much stuff. It tells you sort of the positive things of your personality type, and then it also tells you like the negative things of your personality type and the things that can be really ugly with your type, which is interesting, and the things that you can work on. And then it also has a whole section where you can look at your relationships. Now I found this really interesting too. So my husband did the test and he got a 9. Now the 9 is a peacemaker. So 9s do not like conflict. I'll look it up here. 9s are accepting, trusting, stable, usually creative, optimistic, supportive, but can be too willing to go along with others to keep the peace. So that's what a 9 is like. And it's really interesting because you can look up what your type is with someone else in a relationship and see if that's good or if it's bad, or what sort of the things are that you can work on. Now, I found this really, really interesting with a 9 and a 3, and I was pleasantly surprised that these two types do go well together, and it's actually a really common pairing because it says here that 9s bring a more enormous support, encouragement, and a sense of pride in the 3's accomplishments. 3s can feel that with the 9 behind them, they're able to be themselves, explore their potential, and be the best mate, friend, or professional they can be. Whereas 3s can help 9s to value themselves, have more self-respect, and to invest in their own development. 9s can help 3s relax and find enjoyment in simple things. 9s give them permission to not drive themselves so much. So that's really interesting. There's a whole lot of information there, and I have so found that in my own life that I've gone, oh my gosh, I just want to do so much, and I find it hard to sit still and relax, whereas my husband finds it quite easy to sit back and relax. Like, he's very hard working at work and all of that, but he does find relaxing and taking time to breathe a more natural thing, whereas my personality type is like, I just want to be going, even on the weekends when I'm not doing work, or even when I was in my full-time job, I wanted to do work at night or do work on the weekend or be working on a new project, achieving something. On the weekend, I'll feel like I can't necessarily relax until things are done, or I'll feel like I just want to always be improving things, which I think is so characteristic of a 3 wing 2. I want to improve things, whether it's redoing my wardrobe, whether it's cleaning the kitchen, whether it's cleaning the bathroom, whether it is sort of clearing out things or washing clothes, or you name it. Honestly, I just always want to be doing and achieving something. When I'm in the car, I'll be listening to a podcast or something about self-development or spiritual growth, and I really value all of that sort of stuff. But it is so important to have other people in our lives who help us so that we aren't falling into that sort of negative space of our personality type. That's great that I am success driven and want to achieve things, but that can be bad if that's all I ever did. It could come at the expense of relationships, although with a wing 2 I do really value relationships, but it could particularly come at the expense of burnout in my own life, which is really, I think, where I see the downfall of my personality type and the way that I guess I am built. I find that I will want to do everything and achieve everything for myself and others, and that I don't necessarily leave time to actually focus on the things like self-care and looking after myself. So it's really important for us all to have people in our lives who show us the other side of things, and to bring us back down to earth, I guess, and to help us to value the things that we may not value, and then likewise for us to help other people value the things that they do not value. But Enneagram test and all personality tests aside, I think it's important to remind ourselves that we're not alone. And I just want to remind you, if you're watching this and you think, oh, I'm this particular way, or I struggle with this, or this is just the way that I am, just know that you're not alone, that other people go through those things too, or that other people are wired, I guess, the way that you are. And secondly, I guess we can all learn that we can grow. We can grow ourselves if there are things in our lives that are negative. Like for me, if it's working until 10 o'clock at night, like I can actually grow in that area and put boundaries in place so that I am not doing that, and so I can have time to relax and look after myself so I avoid burnout. Now, I don't know what that is for you, but I encourage you to do that too, whatever it looks like, your growth. And then also, I think we can remind ourselves that other people can help us grow and that we can help them too. So other people can show us our weaknesses with kindness, and we can show other people, I guess it's called constructive criticism, isn't it? Other people where they can grow and help each other with that too, so that we can all help each other be the best versions of ourselves. Now, I want to hear what your Enneagram type is, so comment down below and tell me what your Enneagram type is. If you haven't done the test, I will include the link to the test that I have done that I recommend you do. And if you have done it and you know what your type is, tell me something that you love about your personality type, and tell me something that you struggle with or a weakness with your personality type that you want to work on, because we can all grow. We don't have to stay confined by a box of what your Enneagram is or any other personality test. We can all grow and become better versions of ourselves. If you like this video and you want to hear more sort of videos like this about talking about this sort of personal development and growth sort of things, comment down below and tell me. It would mean the world to me if you could give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you can be notified about future videos. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.